Hi, this is Bill Hortz again, founder and dean of the Institute for Innovation Development. We're back at your landing page, and hopefully you saw our previous video which explained the navigational sidebar and how to get around the site and key areas of the site. We're going to talk here about your dashboard. A lot of functional areas are controlled through here. So let's start with this is the primary view page, but you want to start with your edit profile page, especially as there's no information there until you put it there, and we're dying to know about you and your interest in innovation. So here you will be filling in information about your name, city, and the bio section. As I mentioned before, that you want to do a bio that kind of addresses what your particular focuses are and interests in innovation, which helps the community see how who's part of the community and where there's shared interests that people can work together on, and people know that you may have interest in particular topics. So the bio is where you fill out that information, your links to your social media areas, your company information, just so we know again where you're coming from, and that gives us ideas about how best to contact and work with you. My challenges section, you'll see that there's a drop-down menu, and we threw a bunch of things in here, but if there's other topics that you feel you bring to the that you feel are your greatest interest areas, we'll be populating that with more ideas. But it's important that in finding each other, we know what are the particular topics you may have on innovation. Are you looking particularly for innovation in the retirement plan space, in working with social media, or whatever topics they may be? How do you develop your continuously build and tweak and change your business model? So maybe your challenges are in business model innovation or development. So again, this is where you also can tell us what particular skills you may be bringing to the table. Again, this is, remember, a collaborative and social site around people who are like you that want to learn more about innovation, but practically want to do more experimentation and try more things and get more ideas. So here you can find out a little bit about what your key areas of interest are and what are some of the tools you can bring or to the table. So this makes us a more collaborative site. You then save this information, and then that allows you to build your profile. Again, if you do not have a picture, as I mentioned in the last video, this is where you put in your picture. You're in the nether reaches of the site. You're off in some dark corner. We don't want you there. So basically, here is where you can change your email address and password. If you want to always sign out with Bill Hortz, founder of, or whatever, you can put in your signature elements there. But this is where you put your picture. Again, you just download it from your website, and then there'll be a button that says, post, and you would save down here, and that would allow you to have your picture shown. You're defaulted on a couple of these different areas. So I just leave those be until we discuss it a little more fully. But right now, those two areas, setting up your profile, key in being part of the community, and adding your picture and editing, which makes you a visible part of the community. The bookmark organizer is a key area as well, where as you start going into the innovation library, you're going to start seeing the ability to bookmark topics or articles or tools, and they'll show up here. You then have the ability to start folders and be able to, as you can see, I started a starting folder. How do you start innovation and business model innovation? So these are two particular areas that I started as personal folders, and every time you bookmark something within the site that you find of interest and of value, or that you want to share or just work more with later, they'll pop up under here, and then you can drop them into those folders. So now your learning on innovation can be made practical and personal and interactive where you can pick and choose and build that information towards particular topics that you're most interested in, and that's your bookmark organizer. You then have a file section that is for future use as we start adding more tools and programs and training modules and other types of information that you may want to bring down into your site. You would be putting them here in your file section. So you can see there's no downloads yet, but this is your central area for downloading future information resources we'll be providing. Notification settings. Notification settings are very simply letting you know what topics that you are, what topics and activities you are following. You can see here as to what groups you may be a member of. I'm following and working with the RMR Wealth Builders Group, and you can see that that shows up as a group that I'm following. At any time, you can unfollow anything that you currently are following. So here you can see the groups you're following, the content. There may have been an article or post or a contact where people have asked a question. And again, if you press the follow button on that topic, you will then see this listed here under the content you're following. You then can easily unfollow again by just clicking this button, and that can reduce again topics you've already exhausted what you needed to know or want to move on to other topics. Topics are from the forum section. There may be particular topics that you want to keep seeing what members are talking or adding information to, and then this is the people that you're following. And Mark, who is our website developer, has many personas, and so he's on a few times. And again, if I want to stop following one of these people, I can always just click the following button, and again, you start unfollowing. But again, notifications is a quick area to see what topics you've chosen to follow and whether they're groups, particular contexts, content issues, topics within the forum, or particular people, so you can unfollow them at any time. Private messages and invitations. If you ever are invited to a group, and I hope and wish you will be, if you're visible and with your profile and information out, you most probably will eventually. So here is where you would be getting those invitations to groups or topics or issues that may be up. So you would get that invitation. And by the way, on the very top, much like LinkedIn, you would see an indication here with the numbers saying that there is some kind of private message or invitation that you have received. Now, if you also, in this section, if someone has friended you, we call it a trusted contact, within the system, you now can communicate with each other. And here you will see messages coming from different people, and you can click onto the message, respond, etc. But this will let you know messages that are there, waiting your response, and you will have your list of people that are your trusted contacts or friends. Again, is Facebook, where you can then from here send them a private message as to follow up on other ideas or things that you'd like to communicate with them on. So your private messages and invitations will all be in this area. Track will allow you to see and keep a record of your activity through the website. So you can see here for this persona of mine, it shows you exactly the events. Every time I answered a question, a document I've added, a wiki I started, posts I put on, a question, groups I have joined. So you can have a record of that activity. And when you click through, you can get detailed dates on that. So that's your track on your activity. Again, just to remind yourself if there was something you needed to do or not. Now the points system. Point system is going to be activated shortly, but we want to really instill a sense of this being a community and really inspire and also reward activity. So on our site, we have a point system that every time you respond or add comments to a conversation, you get 5 points. Anytime you start a new conversation or group or topic, you'll get 10 points because you're helping, start discussion and fuel discussion around topics you think are very important and that you want to instigate and incite and start conversations on. So we really thank you for that. So you get 10 points for that. So the point system will allow you to keep track of your activity and keep reminding you that we need this activity to make this a social and collaborative site, so you're truly learning to be more innovative and practicing a lot of the tools we're going to be learning about. And to what point, you say, are we collecting this numerical value? Well, we also will be collecting and building a reward area where there'll be innovation tools like innovation thinking cards and others, so that you can turn your activity into actual tools that you can use and resources on innovation. So that'll be our thank you to you for being part of the community. So that gives you a click to the main center of your site. This gives you an overview of your dashboard. We'll be putting in other instructional videos as we go and as your interest comes up to our attention. So please feel free to communicate, send us emails, tell us what you need to know and want to learn more about, and we will create more videos for you. Again, thank you very much for your participation.